Welcome everyone to Coffee and an Interview. I'm Jacqueline Pena, and I'm really excited today to be here with Naomi Kreske. Naomi introduced herself to me as having been a person who was front writing the Hot Mess Express to having a life now, moving to having a life that she's obsessed about using one main law and three manifestation principles. And when I saw that, when I heard that, I was like, oh, we need to talk. How do we all get off the Hot Mess Express? And so with that, I want to introduce Naomi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and share my Hot Mess Express story.
Now, tell us a little bit about yourself because you have a story, and that story led to you going into a coaching business.
Yeah.
Tell us about your story and the work you do.
So, a lot about my story starts from a place of what I call my white picket fence life.
Mm.
And that's, a term that expresses that I had a perfect life, went to college, married my college sweetheart, got moved around, got, jobs and got the house in the suburbs and then started the family, had 3 kids, ended up being a stay-at-home mom. And then out of the blue, and a lot of times, I talk about how I had a surprise divorce. People are like, how can it be a surprise? But out of the blue, I found out that my husband at the time was cheating on me. And it was like the white picket fence dream came crashing down. Like, got the rug pulled out from under me. I was like, my identity was smashed because now all of a sudden, instead of being a wife and of a complete family, I am this single mom. And it was intense. Like, I call this my big T trauma, and it forced me to just survive. And I ended up being in survival mode unknowingly for 10 to 12 years. And so now I call that my Hot Mess Express.
I felt like the regular long distance train instead of the express. That was quite a long
Yeah.
time.
Yes. Yes.
Now, you said something very interesting, thinking about myself, thinking about listeners. You said that you were in survival mode, the Hamas Express, for 10 or 12 years. And I thought it'd be interesting to start there. Like, how do you know you're in survival mode? What is that? So that we have that operational
Yeah.
definition, see how to get off with the
So
why.
a lot of survival mode feels like you're forcing life, or that you're just getting by. Like, you're just making it. Like, you don't think about the future. It's just like one step, one day, one moment at a time. And when life feels like you're forcing it and that it's hard and that you refuse to think about the future, like that is survival mode.
Wow. 10 years. I think a lot of us go through those periods of survival mode.
Yeah.
Um, there could be a few weeks, there could be a few months, there could be a year. And I think it's important to be able to recognize it, to be able to pull out of it. And sometimes you have to go into survival mode for a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
you're there. Life is hitting you
Yeah.
in different directions and different ways, and you just got to get through it. But you have to know that you have to get through it and come out of it.
Yeah, because survival mode can become comfortable.
Oh,
You know,
interesting
well,
word.
yeah, this is definitely a psychological thing. Things that are good or bad for us, like they can become comfortable. So even the bad things are life, like a bad relationship or survival mode, like bad things become known, and your brain is comfortable with the things that it knows. So because something different, that's scary. So like when you're in a bad situation and you want to get out of it, your brain's like, but I feel safe in this bad situation, because that new unknown situation, that's scary. And your brain is hardwired to keep you safe, back from, caveman days, flight, fight, or freeze reactions. So it's it's not always your fault that you get stuck in survival mode. It's sometimes, your subconscious just keeping you safe, quote unquote.
Mm. It's interesting too because thinking about the future and planning for it for something that you're not sure what it'll truly look like once you get there feels scary.
Hmm.
So I can see how staying in survival mode and even contributing to some circumstances that help maintain that space you're used to being in might feel more comfortable than planning or thinking about something in the future that you're
Yeah.
not sure you can succeed at.
Yep.
So I can see that thinking in some of my own decisions and things I've done myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think about the future for a very long time. It was like one day, 1 week, 1 month. Like I did not plan for the future at all. And I used to be a really big planner, but why plan for something if it can be taken away? Because what I had was taken away from me so harshly that I didn't want to feel that way again. So I continued to sabotage any relationship that I tried to be on when I was in the Hot Mess Express because subconsciously, why take that risk of having something good and having it taken away again? And of course, I didn't realize it in the moment that I was doing this. This is hindsight because when I finally realized that I was on the Hot Mess Express, it was me realizing that I was completely and utterly emotionally unavailable and that I was my own worst enemy. I was in the way of what I wanted in life.
Wow. So how do you open your eyes to that, and how do you work towards a better future? I'm listening to you and I'm also thinking about myself where there are many times in life where I'm not thinking about the future, the 10 years from now, 15, 20. My brain isn't even wired that way. I think from how I grew up and the systems I've maintained, right, for
Hmm.
living and survival. So, okay, if we can get off of that Hamas Express, if we get out of survival mode and start working towards something, now we need some tools to be able to work towards that. So we have to recognize we're on the Hot Mess Express. We
Yeah.
have to get off by looking at a future, and we need tools to get there.
Yeah. So for me, getting off the Hot Mess Express, like It was it was gradual and then it was like bam. Those aha moments that you love to have in life. So I knew in general that there was more for me. Like I wanted more out of life. Like I wasn't happy. I didn't have, you know, the relationship that I wanted. I didn't have the career I wanted. I was just still struggling. And I knew that there was more for me. So
Mhm.
I start reading the self-help books, I start listening to podcasts, I start taking courses, but and things started to get better, but nothing was really clicking. It wasn't clicking all the way. And then when I was reading a book, I had the aha moment. And I love it. It's still the biggest aha moment that I've had yet. But I was reading this book. It was about finding love because quite often in life, finding love is a major driver in our lives. And the woman was retelling a story where she was having a conversation with her mother, and her mother was kind of giving her some tough love. And she was talking to her about how she goes out late, she drinks too much, she talks to douchebags, and she's this party girl, but still thinks that Prince Charming is going to come in and sweep her off of her feet. And her mom was like, it doesn't work that way because the energy that you're putting out is not going to attract Prince Charming. And that is the law of attraction in a nutshell. What you put out is what you get back, hands down, in every single area of your life. And that was my big wake up call. Because if I wanted to stop dating douchebags, I needed to look in the mirror. because something about what I was putting out in this world was attracting the wrong people and the wrong situations and the wrong career. And it was like, I needed to overhaul my damn life.
Wow. So you just said the law of attraction. So
Yes.
you have to look in the mirror. You have to look at what you're truly putting out there, decide what you want, and then hmm.
Um, so are we switching into manifestation here? Because
Yeah, like where do I go? Okay, so I first have to decide what I want. I get it. I get that. And that can be difficult. Now I'm gonna look in the mirror and say, okay, what am I putting out there? Is this gonna truly bring what I want?
yeah.
But then what do I do? Yeah, let's switch.
So yeah, so the next step for me took probably 2 to 3 more years because, like I said, I had to overhaul my whole life. So the next step is you have to start asking yourself one question: does this serve me? Because that question, ask it of everything. Does this person serve me? Does this place serve me? Does this job serve me? Does this mindset serve me? Does this,
Mm.
like, everything? Does this habit serve me? And if you can ask that question of yourself and honestly answer it, then it gives you an idea of what you need to edit out of your life and what you need to keep in your life. So it's one of those, it's a very simple tool, but it allows you to really sort of see your shit. So it was that one question that I started asking myself about everything in my life. And so I edited. There's a lot of people that I don't talk to anymore. There's a lot of friends that I reinforced that friendship. I changed careers. I started to stay home. I started to hang out with myself more. It's just, it is a lot. And when you have to overhaul your life, you cannot expect to do it in like a month or even a year. You just have to be patient and you have to take those baby steps to really start changing, the important things in your life.
I love that question. So I wrote it in two places. I'm a note taker, so I don't know if you noticed it. And I think it's a great, simple framework to really start doing that change, that overhaul.
Yeah.
Being able to take it, not do everything all at once. That's
Right.
also one of my faults, right? Take one thing at a time. But does this serve me? Once I know where I'm trying to go, my goals,
Yeah.
what life I want to have, does this serve me? Does this mindset serve me? Does this thing I'm doing, this action serve me? Does
Yep.
this person too? Because we have to look at boundaries and
Yep.
sometimes toxic people around us. Does this
Mm-hmm.
serve me?
Yeah. So that looks like, radical accountability. It's like, being accountable for your life, living this law of attraction sort of mentality about, the energy that you put out is going to be the energy that you get back. And then you have to take the messy, scary action. Like, you have to be vulnerable because, the things that you want are scary, like we were just talking about, like making changes. You have to retrain your brain to accept being vulnerable and accept the new scary changes in your life. It's a lot.
So I'm thinking right now of all the things I can start looking at. It can be scary. So
Yep.
so it took you, I love that you shared that. It took you a few years.
Yep.
You took your time.
Yeah. And, life is a work in progress in general. And that's part of the reason why I called my life coaching company Keep Finding You, because there's no destination here. And there's no like, I'm going to become this person and then I'm done. You will continue to keep finding yourself your whole life. But it's about finding the tools and that will help you keep finding you your whole life.
So I love that name. Thank you for explaining it. Keep
Yeah.
finding you. Because I think a lot of times we're looking for those quick solutions. Uh, Or we think once we do it, okay, I did that, I'm done, right?
Yeah.
And the truth is that we're always working on ourselves.
Yeah.
And it is a part of the life process, continuous improvement, enhancement, just being the better version of you each day that you can be. And so keep finding you is that concept is okay, you did the work, you got here, and then you're always going to be looking at those decisions, seeing what best serves you, think shifting a little bit about what that goal looks like 10,
Yeah.
15 years from now, that
Yeah.
life. Because things change and what you envision might be different once you have new experiences or meet new people.
Exactly, because what you learn along the way, along the journey can definitely change, what you dream of and what the outcome is. So, and this is cliche, but it's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of us, when you have those 5-year, 10-year, 15-year goals, you hold on to them too tightly and you lose the importance of being in the moment on that journey.
Mm. Yeah. I need to take another look at the mirror after this conversation. You gave me some idea. What life looks like in 15 years. I need to start shaping that a little bit better. Love
Yeah.
that. So as people are doing this work, I mean, what advice do you have for us as we're making these changes? You gave us a question that serves as a great framework for how we look at things each day. What else, based on your experience from your own life, but also from your coaching, what are some other strategies, tools, other advice you can share as we're navigating this part of our lives, getting off the hot mess express?
Sure. Um, Mental health has always been like
Mm.
something that I've been really, really interested in. I love psychology and really sort of getting like to the root of the core of what's actually going on. Because a lot of times, people show what one thing on the outside, whether it's anger or happiness or sadness, whatever, but something different is going on underneath. So it's getting to know yourself. It's getting to know your underneath because a lot of us don't want to see it. And we talked about that already, taking a long look in the mirror. And that can be very scary. So getting to know yourself is really important for understanding where you want to go and accomplishing it. So tools for understanding who you are, there's, journaling, meditation, affirmations, like those are definitely those three are very trendy, but they also very much work. And I know a lot of people are intimidated by these modalities. For example, affirmations, people just, they throw out like, I love myself. I'm beautiful today. I am abundant. I am wealthy. I am successful. But a lot of times, if you just jump to like those big affirmations, you're not going to believe it. So they don't work if you don't even a little bit believe it. So, like, if you're struggling with self love, instead of jumping to, I love myself, what if you do like, I'm liking myself a little bit today? Like that feels a little bit more attainable. So then you actually start believing it. And then maybe next week you can say, I'm loving myself more this, or I'm liking myself more this week. So that makes affirmations a little bit more usable and less mainstream. And then as far as like journaling and meditation, um, it's kind of like you have like, okay, so with journaling, there's the fear of the blank page. Like, what am I supposed to write?
Yeah.
Like, and like a lot of people, like, what if I get graded on this? Nobody's grading you on this. Like, you can write whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But we all are perfectionists. I'm a recovering perfectionist. So, it has to look pretty and, what, punctuation, everything. But you have to let go of the expectations. Just write. And if that is still too much of a leap for you, there's this thing called guided journaling,
Mm.
which I do have a worksheet for that on my website. It's a freebie. You can just download it, but it gives you prompts for journaling, which I find really helpful. And then it gets you in like a rhythm, like a daily rhythm. So then your brain starts looking for things to be grateful for, or looking for tasks that you want to complete the next day, or looking to celebrate the wins that you had that day. So guided journaling can really sort of prime your brain into getting into these habits of recognizing the good things that you're searching for.
That's very helpful because I think a lot of people do get scared of the blank page. So
Yeah,
if you can have some prompts, if you can have that guided, then it's easier to answer a question than to sit there and say, okay, what do I write about?
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's
And
really good. Yeah, the resources are also in the description for our listeners, by the way, and I'll mention that again at the end.
okay, awesome. And same thing with meditation. Like I love meditation. I don't use it every day because time is of the essence always. But even meditating for 5 minutes, you can go on YouTube and find guided meditations. And there's like some person with some calming music and calming voice just telling you to relax and close your eyes and take a moment and breathe. I love it. I do love it. When I get into a consistent habit, I do recognize that I am more calm and that I am more grounded. So instead of just sitting there in silence, which I do enjoy sometimes, and just letting my thoughts come to me, the guided meditation is a very, very useful tool.
Mm, that's very helpful. And also, it just has to be 2 minutes. It doesn't have to be a 10, 15 minute meditation. It could be
Mm-mm.
shorter. It
Yeah.
could be in the middle of the day. And sometimes that helps calm us in the chaos of the day so that
Yes.
we tackle the next half. So just 2, 3 minutes, isolate yourself somewhere and put on one of those YouTube or,
Hmm.
audio meditations and let that guide you.
Yeah. Just take some deep breaths. I mean, that's another thing that's very trendy right now is breath work.
Mhm.
I love
Yeah.
it. That's my favorite one where you take a deep breath in and then you audibly sigh it out. It's like like that just instantly makes you feel like brighter and calmer, you know?
Hmm. For this work, we need that.
Yes,
And this
definitely.
life.
Definitely.
Wow. No, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying release that tension, release all the negativity. Just let it go.
And I'm here like literally shaking off
Yep.
my arms and
Yep.
letting it all out. And we do because we hold on to a lot of tension, a lot of emotion, a lot of negativity, a lot of pressures, memories. We just hold on to a lot of things when we're in that survival mode, and we don't realize what we're holding on to because we don't give ourselves time to process it and then put it away, file it
Yep.
away, or to process it and then just let it go. It
Yep.
just kind of accumulates in there inside,
Yep.
and then that becomes very. It could even become toxic for our bodies. That's where you start seeing some health issues and a lot of burnout and stress related
Yeah,
health issues.
you said the word burnout. That's where overwhelm, burnout, survival mode, comes in. You got to process all that emotion and let it go. So, journaling, meditation, breath work, counseling, therapy, coaching, let's go.
You mentioned some great strategies that we can already take away, and I am guilty of not doing enough meditation. I am gonna start inserting a little bit of that or breath work in the middle of the day to kind of undo some of the craziness and get ready for the next half.
Yeah.
But you're throwing out a lot, and you said coaching, and we talked a little bit about keep finding you, right? So you coach women who feel stuck, overwhelmed, or disconnected, and you bring these tools that you're sharing with us. Thank you for sharing with us to your sessions. Tell us a little bit more about the kind of work you do there so we can keep learning from you and learning about this get out of survival mode and
Yeah.
live your best life mode.
So I love to work with women who are already on that self-help journey, or at least know that they need one, and just like don't know where to start or don't know where to go next. Because a lot of times coaching is that helicopter view that people need, because like when you're in your own shit, like there's so much that you can't see. And I love being that viewpoint for people to be able to, simplify it, put a nice pretty bow on it, and give you the next steps that you can take. I love that. I love creating like worksheets for my clients and checklists. Like let's break it down. Let's take what you feel like is overwhelming and complicated, and I am the calm in your chaos, and we're gonna kick butt and take names.
It's truly a coach. You're there
Yeah.
by their side as they're tackling this next phase in life, this get off of the hot mess express into the best life possible that we're actually dreaming of, right?
Yep.
Thinking about the future. If you're in sports, for example, or competitive sports, you might have a coach that tells you, try this differently, do this differently, and there you are doing the same, trying to help support the progress for the individual.
Yeah. And I can't tell you how amazing it is to see other people have their aha moments. Like you see the tears well up in their eyes, or they're just like dumbfoundedly, or dumbfounded in general, or just like super excited. It's like it's so amazing to see other people have aha moments. Like that's what I live for.
Oh my, that sounds wonderful. So now I'm thinking about this work, and for me, for our listeners, our aha moments, that first look in the mirror and saying, okay, let's be honest. What
Yeah.
am I putting out there? Who am I really? What am I living? Acknowledging whether or not you are in survival mode on the Hot Mess Express, or you have been, or you're almost on it. You have your
Mm-hmm.
ticket, you're boarding, and saying, okay, I have to do things differently. Figuring out, like, man, I can think of a future. I can have a future. What does that look like? That future life? That can be one of those aha moments as
Oh,
well.
for sure.
Oof. And realizing that it is attainable, and then using that your question framework. Does this serve me? Does this serve me as one of the many tools to look at
Yeah.
how am I living my towards that best life possible that I want?
Yeah.
Right.
That first step of self-awareness is a big one. Like it's terrifying and it's a big one, but it's necessary.
Mm.
It is really necessary. Anytime that you're going to do something, you have to learn. You have to be aware. You have to understand your why and your past and your present and your future. Like not even just in self-help. Awareness is key, and it's the first step.
Wow. Yeah, and I think that's the homework assignment. I think that's our first homework assignment for
Yeah.
all of us, me here in the interview live, for our listeners. Carve out that space, because it will be difficult mental work, emotional work, to really become self-aware.
Yeah.
Where are you now? Are you living your best life possible? Is this the best life that you want to live? What else are you aiming for? But
Mm-hmm.
really becoming self-aware as to, where am I now in that vision? How am I contributing to it, or how am I sabotaging it at times?
Correct. Yep.
That's a big
Yep.
word. That's
It
a hard
is.
word.
It is. It's a hard word. Took me 10 years to get to that word.
Oh man, and then recognizing what you're doing to sabotage your ability to live that best life, to get to that dream, because there's so many patterns and things that we do, right? In terms of
Yeah.
how we behave and decisions we make and things of that sort. And that's where journaling comes in. I'm guessing that's a great tool to start recognizing that too.
Yep. Yeah. The journaling, and having a coach to point it out to you is very helpful. Coach, friend, therapist.
Someone
Yes, someone.
who can help you, hold you accountable as
Yes.
well, when you're
Yep.
ready to make those decisions.
Yeah,
Sometimes we need that. I need that.
definitely.
And sometimes we're good at holding ourselves accountable. We come up with a system, like a checklist system or something, but sometimes we still need another voice, not just the one in our head, but a physical person saying, hey, what are you doing?
Right, exactly.
You said you
Um,
wanted to do this. Yeah.
And somewhere in our society, I feel like we got a little lost, feeling like we had to do life alone. Like that you had to be this strong individual and, muscle through life. And it's sad that we got off on that track because you're not supposed to do life alone. You know, we need community and we need family and we need teamwork. And I feel like society is coming back to that a little bit, but it's definitely scary because you need to be vulnerable when you're in a team and in a community and in a family because they're going to see you for your good and your bad. So yeah, that's one of the things that I'm really focusing on is bringing community to the world and into my life because we're not supposed to do this alone. Like life is, you're not, it's too hard. It breaks you down. That's where overwhelm and burnout come from if you try to muscle through life. So finding this place of flow and peace through support and vulnerability is, I think that's where it's at. That's where life gets really good.
Wow. And that's complicated. And I love that you shared this piece of community because we've been talking about, you on the hot, the individual on the hot mess express and survival mode and getting off and that future. And now we're talking about accountability. Now we bring in community. Why community? I think I think you're right. I think a lot of us have struggled with that mentality that we have to be able to do it on our own. I think a lot of us have been burned with certain relationships, right? We've had a lot of toxic individuals, or we had something happen with certain people, and sometimes we want to keep things quiet for ourselves because we are, we don't know what this person will say or this person like we just are not as trusting. And here comes this idea of your tribe and your community, your real family and your chosen family. Um, we especially after COVID with the lockdown, I think we many times have lost that ability to have a truly strong inner circle, our own tribe that we can rely on. That's the community. And I think that's one of the homework assignments for myself and for our listeners. I want to keep building my tribe because I think I let it go a little bit. So having a strong, positive tribe, people I can trust, that
Yeah.
I can share these journeys with.
Yeah, because what is that? You are the sum of the five people around you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I got it right, but you get the point. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so you are the greatest sum of the five people that associate with the most. So you got to pick those five people really, really well because that's what you're going to be.
Mm-hmm. Nope, more homework for us. For
Yeah.
me, definitely. A different assessment. What does
Yes.
my tribe look like?
Yeah.
Where do I need to make some changes? But I'm glad you brought that concept of community because this work is difficult. And if we can find people we trust, people to have these conversations with, then we're not walking it alone, right? We're
Correct.
doing the work
Yeah.
ourselves, but we have people we can talk to, ask
Yeah.
questions, just like you and I are having a conversation. You're giving us strategies that we can have with other people. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, because it's very important to be able to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And again, as a community or as a society, we've gotten away from that. Like, how many women and mothers just muscle through life because they're afraid to ask for help? And it's like, as a mother myself, I want my children and my husband, yes, please ask me for help because A, I can't read your mind. And B, I want to help you. Like in general, as a society, we want to help each other, but we're afraid to ask for help at the same time. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. No.
Yeah.
So we just need to change the narrative
Mm-hmm.
around the power of vulnerability and that we are a community and we want to help each other and support each other. So just ask for it. Because if you don't ask for what you need, nobody's going to give it to you.
Wow. Yeah, it's true. It is very true. So building that tribe. Wow. So, okay. So we have a lot of tools and strategies in our toolkit from this conversation. So I wanted to ask, is there anything else you want to share? Any final advice or thoughts? Or maybe there's something you want to share that we didn't get to talk about yet in the interview?
So the one thing that I love to share at the end of conversations like this is a quote, and it's one that I grew up with, thinking that it was just something that like my parents said, and the quote is called the Golden Rule: "Do unto others as you would have done unto you." And recently, I realized the power of this quote and how it relates to the law of attraction, because what you put out is what you get back. So do unto others as you have done unto you. It's it's very powerful. And if the world would live by this quote, it would be a much better place. So I guess I say this so people can have that in the forefront of their mind in their daily lives. And, maybe that will spread.
We have homework, more homework. We got to spread this message, listeners.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being here on the show. I mean,
Yes.
you brought so many approachable, accessible tools to us
That's my
and
goal.
really taught us. Yeah, I appreciate it. And teaching us how to reflect and look at ourselves and really think about where we want to go, where we are now and where we want to go. And where we are now could be survival mode. The Hot Mess Express could be getting on or just coming off, and helping us kind of navigate to go towards that dream. And it's not a dream, it's a goal, right?
Hmm.
We want to live a certain way in a certain space, but we have to know what that is. We have to know what we want, and we don't always know what we want,
Nope.
to be able to get there, and then be able to make the right decisions based on that, and then have that community to help us as we're getting there. So I truly appreciate you sharing all of that with us today.
Well, thank you for having me. I love being able to give people usable tools like today. Go use them.
I'm ready. I took a lot of notes.
Good.
And for our listeners, all the information from our session is in the description, the resources, the website, so that you can get more information. Look at the guided journaling component. That's all in the description. You can click on the link or just copy and paste into your favorite browser and go for it. And Naomi, once again, thank you so much for being on Coffee and Interview. It's been truly an amazing experience. I'm hoping that our listeners got as much out of this as I did, because I have some tough work to do in the next few weeks, and in the reflection component, to kind of keep realigning my life with my dreams or goals. But thank you so much for being here, and thank you to our listeners for listening to Coffee and an Interview.